Alright, our second lock for today is courtesy of Jimster586. This is a Schlage large format lock, large format interchangeable core lock, and a Mortise cylinder. It's a Schlage Everest. Now this uses a C keyway and is not restricted. My dorm actually, they use Schlage small format locks, which do use restricted keyways. So this is my dorm room key, and it says restricted, patent of, I can't read the number there. For the restricted keyways, you must be an authorized locksmith to obtain key blanks. These, however, are not restricted, so they have a patent on them, but I don't believe they're restricted. It does not say restricted. Here are the two operating keys, and this is the control key. The control key says do not duplicate. My dorm room key says restricted, which is actually one of the reasons why they switched over to Schlage from Best, because they had students making unauthorized copies. So here's a demo of the lock. First, let's start off with the operating key. Look at this keyway. See how it kind of bends? Actually, this key does have a little bit of a sidebar, although nothing too fancy. If you're a good lockpick, you can bypass that rather easily. So it's a medium security lock. Just simply moves the arm of this Mortise cylinder around. But if you compare it to the control key, look how the control key is just a little bit longer and is cut just a little bit differently. Well, that's because it actually, unlike a Best lock, the Schlage control keys are actually, well, at least for their large format locks, it's actually just one extra pin in the back which is pushed up and pulls the cylinder out. Otherwise, the keying of the control key is exactly the same as the operating key. So here's the core. This is the retaining tab. This can go in a little bit, but once again, a lock can't just be pushed in without the control key, which you can do rather quickly. This is the throw member. Typical. It's actually quite a typical Schlage throw member. However, I'm going to show you how to remove the retaining tab. You can't really see the pin under this light. Yep, there you go. See that pin? That isn't coming up. Now if I put the control key in, I'm not too good at these lock demos, so watch how that last pin right now goes up. That's the pin that enables a cord to be removed. So you can actually, in theory, modify an operating key to remove the core. So I have an operating key in right now, and I'll just take this piece of graphite, and if I just push this pin up a little bit, I actually have the control key behaving as the operating key. So I don't think it's a good security feature. I don't know how their small format locks behave. I think they behave much more like Best. So yep. Yeah, because RIT had a lot of trouble with students just, going out. Because with the Best lock, even though, like for example, my Best key say it is unlockable to duplicate this key. This is the newer stock. It just says duplication prohibited. Well, it's perfectly legal to duplicate it. Well, a traditional Best key. I mean, if it's a Best Peaks or something else that's patent protected, then you cannot duplicate those without permission. So here's the core one last time. Throw member, Pro member just pushes this little thing in the cylinder. And I'll put the core back in. In addition, I'm not a big fan of this retaining tab. Although while in the lock, it should be fine. And that's it. Although I do like this extra safety feature. It does make it a little bit tougher to pick, but once again, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't really do much. Schlage Everest Primus actually has a second row of pins that activate a sidebar. However, those pins are actually cut at the factory, so if you're looking for tight key control, that's not the best thing. Though it's still a very good lock. That's about it for this lock demo, and once again, this lock was given to me by Jimster586. So thank you very much, and that's about it.